Welcome back to the Ark Survival Guide. I have gotten so many questions from people saying, where do I find oil on the Ark Genesis 2 map? Because it's actually really hard to get your hands on oil, believe it or not. So this guide is going to show you all of the best ways to get oil on the Genesis 2 map. We'll start by telling you how to get tens of thousands of oil in the Space Biome, but you'll only find it if you know exactly how to look for it. Then we'll show you some epic oil base locations with oil veins, and you can put an oil pump and get unlimited supplies of oil that way. Then we'll show you how to find the secret underground ocean and how to set up an underwater base with air down there so you can harvest all the oil and come back every time it respawns. And we'll show you some other super easy alternative methods to get all the oil you need in a starter zone without putting yourself at any danger at all. So there's going to be tons of helpful info in this guide to get you all the oil you need, and we'll put links in the description so you can skip right to what you're most interested in. Please like and share this video, comment and subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell for all notifications so you don't miss our next video. And let's get started! Now before I show you all the places on the map where you can get oil on Genesis 2, let me remind you that HLNA's store always carries oil. You can get 20 for 120 hexagons, so if you need just a little oil, HLNA is always there for you. So we'll start with the absolute best place to get oil on the Genesis 2 map, but it's only here on certain days and it's totally random. Every night at exactly midnight, the ship will warp to a totally different solar system and the entire space biome is reset and changed to one of the random biomes. And when we get the oil biome, these asteroids that are kind of rainbow-colored tint will have tons of oil nodes, like hundreds all over the space biome, and you can come out here with an ankylosaur and get tens of thousands of oil to bring back to your base, but make sure you take advantage of this while it's here. It's totally random, but you will notice around the map there will be red loot drops when the oil biome is present, so if you see those red light beams, rush over here, get all the oil you need as fast as possible. But be really careful because the space biome is pretty dangerous. There's lots of seekers, void worms, dolphins will actually beat you up, so be real careful, but you can get a lot of good stuff while you're here. So now we'll show you some places where oil always is on the map. If you want a constant supply of oil that's always there and always producing, there's actually oil veins in Rockwell's garden. You can build an oil base, put an oil pump on top of them, and there's a lot of really nice plateaus that are really well defended up here, so you can just have a nice little oil refinery and have that constantly producing oil for you. There's a few of these across the map. I'm sure there's more that I haven't found myself, but I'll show you a couple of the most convenient locations. Like this one is actually probably the closest to the center of the map, so it's probably the most convenient if you're living on the Eden Zone and you want to just grab oil and bring it back home. I'm sure there's a lot of these oil veins here that I have not found, but this is probably the easiest one to find if you're just flying around. So we've got this vein here on the very end of the map. It's a little bit further to fly, but it's super easy to locate because there is a giant landmark that you can see from all the way across the map. So at the very far end of Rockwell's garden on the Tech Trench area, there is this huge tower right here sticking out. And if you just look to this tower, it's the one right past Rockwell's innards where you can enter that area, and just head to the end of that tower, and then right there on the ground, right in front of it, is going to be this oil vein just past these couple flat plateaus. And there you go, you can drop an oil rig here and have yourself a nice little base, and it'll be super easy to find. Not so easy to defend, but super easy to find. And I'll show you this third oil vein location real quick, just because it's a very centrally located area. It's pretty easy to spot this big tree in the middle here, and there's actually a lot of oil, obsidian, and other good stuff around this plateau, and there's a lot of nice flat areas, so you could easily build a base up here, have it be easily defendable, and it's pretty quick and easy to get to also. So a lot of you will probably live around this big lake in the Eden Zone, and there's two huge metal structures sticking out of that lake. And a lot of you will probably live on this island over here. And I'm going to show you an amazing underground ocean location that has a lot of oil veins in the water. It is a little bit dangerous to go down there. You might run into a lot of sharks, mosas, plesiosaurs, but if you have a decent Maywing with a decent amount of stamina, you can outrun all of those things. And with your tech helmet, you don't have to worry worry about oxygen. So right here is one of these structures. It's a lot easier if you go down in this one. Now check the link in the description. I have a full video on a much more in-depth look on how to find this little base I'm going to take you to. There's an amazing base location down here, and I've got a whole video that'll give you really specific ways to find it really easily. But we're going to go straight down from this metal structure, and all the way at the bottom of this pipe just drops us off in the middle of this underground ocean here. Now if I look around, you'll see this beam of light pretty close to where we came out, and there's this little kind of structure to the left here, and this is actually an underwater building that has air inside it. So we're going to head straight over here. We're sprinting the whole time to make sure that no sharks attack us, and on either side of this little building there are these little vacuum chambers that you can go into, and we have a completely enclosed, totally safe location here you can build in. So you can make a base underwater here, and you can leave your Maywing here, and as long as you've got a storage box and a bed, you can teleport back over here every time you grab a bunch of oil, get hundreds of oil saved up because it'll respawn over time, and then you can come back here and haul it back to your base. So I know it's kind of a long way to go underwater, but we did that really quickly, and the Maywing is just such a fast swimmer, we can outswim basically anything underwater here, especially if we have some decent movement speed and stamina. And as you can see, we've already found our first oil node with all that oil streaming up from it. There's probably 20 or 30 oil nodes down here. They're a little hard to find, but if you explore the cave a bit, you'll find quite a lot of them. Just make sure you've got a lot of space before you harvest, because there's a lot of nasty fish down here that want to eat you. Although there are Dunkleosteos, which are those fish that can harvest oil crazy fast from these oil nodes. So if you manage to tame one of those, you'll have all the oil you need for the rest of your game down here. So real quick, this is the coordinates of that underground base here, and we're going to head back out. I'll show you real quick how to get back out of here in case you get lost, because, oh, we got a mosasaur, that's fun. Because it's pretty easy to get lost down here, but if you look around, there's a couple of these huge pipes with big pillars holding them up, and if you head to the bottom of that, you'll see these glowing orange lights here, and if you go to the middle of those glowing lights, that's the way back up to the surface. We've got this huge pipe, and we'll just follow this all the way up to the surface to the lake, and head back to wherever your main base is with all of the oil you've gathered. So in case you don't like any of these options for harvesting oil from the map, I'll show you some ways to get easy oil from creatures. The most simple way to get oil is to just kill any tech creature that you see on the map. You'll find a lot of enforcers, guardians in the tech trenches, and there's actually a lot of trilobites on this lake in the middle here. I'll show you the coordinates in a second, but at dawn, those actually come out of the water. You can kill them and get a decent amount of oil that way. So if you keep an eye out for those creatures, you'll probably get a decent amount of oil that way, which will tie you over until you're ready to explore some of the more dangerous places in the map. And if you make an element farm by breeding tech parasaurs or something like that, you can actually get quite a lot of oil that way too, especially with the new Maywing ability. Another great way to get oil is to collect it from oil jug bugs. You can find a lot of oil and water jug bugs just to the side of this entrance, and if you come back here and you find them, they're actually full walking along the ground, you can just walk right up, gather oil from them, and you'll get a pretty decent amount of oil that way. So it might even be worth putting a tiny outpost right around this section, because there's a lot of jug bugs that spawn right around here, and that'll actually get you a pretty good amount of oil as long as you don't get killed by all the other stuff. But here's the spawn map for oil jug bugs, and as you can see, you can find them all over the north side of the garden biome. So check that out, and if you live anywhere near one of these, go ahead and look for some jug bugs, and you'll get a pretty decent amount of oil that way. And believe it or not, you can actually get lots of oil by breeding Hesperornis. The female Hesperornis will lay eggs, and each egg can be cooked in a cooking pot for 16 oil each. So if you get a lot of Hesperornis breeding, you can get a lot of eggs, and if you boost those eggs up to the maximum, that might give you enough oil to tie you over for quite a while. And these things are all around this lake, so I'll put a link in the description of this video for how to tame a Hesperornis, how to breed them, and how to get lots of eggs from them. And of course, My favorite way to get oil on any map is to just own a dung beetle, but there are no dung beetles on Genesis Part 2, and I am really bummed about that. Although you can get a ton of oil by killing basilosaurs down in that underground ocean I showed you, but it is pretty dangerous down there, so you'll need something pretty tough. So I know that's a lot of options, but hopefully at least one of those will work really well to get you all the oil you need for your Genesis 2 adventures. Please let me know in the comments if this helped you and which one of these methods you use to get all of your oil. Or if there's anything that I don't know about and haven't mentioned here, I would love if you would share that info with me, especially the coordinates of any other good places to get oil on this map, because we're all learning a lot of new stuff and I wanted to get this guide out as quickly as possible, but there is so much more to learn. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for all notifications, because we'll have so much more helpful Genesis 2 info coming out for you really soon. And until then, I hope you guys are having lots of fun on Genesis 2. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it around. That helps us out a lot. And drop a comment. We love hearing from you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that bell to enable all notifications, because we have lots more videos like this coming out really soon, and you won't want to miss any of them. We already have tons of other videos for you to watch right now, so check these out. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you in the next video.